Yeah.
Okay, good. Who else is messaging me now? Oh, I got a chat going here. Okay. Okay. Right, it sounds like Marcus is addicted.
You could say that.
Great stuff. All right. So, 1402 here in the UK. What's it like up north, Andrew?
I don't know. I'm down south. I couldn't get much further south.
Yeah, well, that's why I asked you what it's like up north.
It is what is it? It's pretty grey. Not too bad though. Not raining.
Whereabouts are you again?
Well, Broadstairs, which is near Margate.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of in Kent.
All right. Who are you tagging?
Oh, I will tag Marcus.
Um, yeah, I'm here. Hungry for more, just knowledge. Just inquisitive as to see how this part of the program goes. So that's what I stick my head in. And yeah, I'm in Surrey, in the UK, so just outside London. And I'll tag Bally. Have you gone?
No, no, I haven't. Cheers, Marcus.
Great.
So I'm in Birmingham, so it's rubbish. It's grey. There's no sun. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm still feeling good. I had an interesting lunchtime where I had two bits of bad news, which yeah, I suppose I'll just have to deal with. So it's kind of affected my mood a little bit because I've got to deal with some stuff now that I wasn't expecting. But apart from that, yeah, I'm still feeling good.
Oh, Rasada, welcome.
Thank you, Dave.
Would you like to check in?
I'm Rasada Goldblatt. I'm in Cape Town right now. There's the ocean. Maybe you can see it.
I saw your toes.
I'm happy I made it here.
Cool. James, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I'm all right. From the northeast, crappy weather, but all's good. Ready for the session.
Cool. Katie.
Hello. Lovely to see you all. I'm checking in a little bit sad, a little bit angry, a little bit frustrated. Looking forward to this session.
Okay. So, um, Katie, are you all right to read the pre-recording thingamajig?
I am.
There you go.
Thank you. Before we begin recording, I want to make sure everyone is aware and comfortable. This session is being streamed and recorded as part of UACT Lero's mission to build recovery capital and challenge stigma. Dogs joining in. Your personal safety and comfort come first. If at any time you would like your contribution or the recording deleted, please say so and it will be removed without question. Please remember to take personal responsibility for what you share. This is an adult learning environment, not therapy, mutual aid, or a faith-based organisation. If you are happy to proceed, please give a verbal yes or use the chat to confirm you consent to the recording. Yes.
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 Great. Great. So just so you all know, that's not to protect you, that's to protect me from you. So if anyone kicks a door and says, "What are you doing?" I can say, "I don't know, but they said they were up for it." So I say that jokingly, but there is a sense of truth in that. Yeah, that there's for me, a real sense of trauma. Yeah, that they're going to come and I'm going to get into trouble. which is something that carries with me in my professional role working in organizations that are lived experienced. Yeah. And Rasada is a colleague of mine and a friend of mine that delivers the trauma work at the rehab in the clinic in Johannesburg, which was started by ourselves, people with lived experience, because there was nothing else there. The way treatment used to be in South Africa was go to a farm, dig holes, pray to Jesus. Yep. So it's very fundamentalist, Christian, hard. None of this touchy-feely, get in touch with your feelings sort of stuff. And then when it softened up a bit, it became kind of addicts looking after addicts and building rehabs. Yep. And then that has got its own challenges as well. But I'm going to say the industry has matured over the years, and it kind of split into the private sector and the public sector. And we're in the public health, public benefits sector, where we want to take professional lived experience to improve treatment outcomes for everyone. Yeah. And Rasada's role at the clinic is he handles all the trauma. He does all. He works with the residents in helping them to integrate and to understand what happened. Yeah. And what we're looking for from a recovery perspective in the clinic is we're looking for people to face their trauma and to stop using using trauma and the story that goes around it to justify their continued behavior. So we call it a golden wound. So somebody can have some really serious traumatic events. They get confronted on their addictive behavior, and then they bring out the wound to throw people off. So for example, personally, kind of sexual abuse as a kid, if it got too much for me, people were confronting me around my addiction, I'd bring this out, put it there, and people would kind of run away from it, and my addiction would survive. So in the treatment environment where people are contained, they really get to confront a lot of that sort of stuff so that it can not be healed, but people can then start the journey of recovering from that and to integrate that in their lives. And one of the challenges with lived experienced organizations or wounded healers or the therapeutic industry in of itself is you've got lots of professionals that come in that haven't done their own personal work. Yep. So they might have all the academia stuff and the theory, but they actually haven't done the process, the personal process. Yeah. So, Rasada, just so you know, everyone here, this part of the training is these are all people with lived experience working in professional roles within professional lived experienced organizations. Yeah. And it's really fortuitous that you're here today, because I can just say, fuck, Rasada, handle the container brew, talk to us about trauma. Hey Jade, would you like to check in?
Yeah, hello everybody. Checking in a bit flustered. Sorry I'm late. I've just been doing some gambling awareness stuff for the guys from Epic and it went longer than I thought. So yeah, but I'm here now. So happy days.
Okay, so the guys from Epic were gambling with your time. Well, why don't you let the other two people from Epic here, why don't you hold that person accountable and shit on them?
No, it's actually people from Epic and oh, I'm sorry.
No, relax, it's fine, Jay.
That would have been really funny though. It was Steve's fault. Blame Steve. I blame Steve.
We all blame Steve too.
We all blame Steve, Jade. It's fine.
There we go.
All right. So Rasada, just to place you,
Mm.
people come here with their lived experience, but they're in a professional role. And the focus of this container is helping people in their professional role. Yeah.
Right.
And how we can use coaching to help that. Yeah. So, and by the way, nice video. And can you
Oh,
come
did you watch
over
it?
and can you come over and do a 3-day workshop here in London in April?
I would love to meet you guys. I don't know, April. To get a UK visa will take me a while, but let's talk.
When can you come over?
Let's do to this container and we'll look at my visa later.
Okay, so are you up for this, Rasada? We'll just
I'm
start.
up for anything. I'm here. I arrived. I'm learning. I'm so impressed with your system that I just follow the links and here I am.
Okay, great. All right. So yeah, all right. So let's go for it. Does that work for everyone? Do you understand where kind of trauma sits in this now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Rasada, I don't know if you remember, but Katie, have you met Rasada before?
Yeah, I recognize Katie, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I did when you did the trauma workshop, Rasada.
Yeah, I did a little
absolutely.
work.
It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Oh,
Wonderful.
fantastic.
All right. So let's just talk about. Hello. Would you like to check in?
Hello. I'm checking in really good today, to be honest.
Okay.
Had a productive, busy week. So yeah, checking in really good.
And it's Anita, yes?
Annette, yeah.
Oh fuck, I got it wrong.
No, there's nothing new there, David. There's not, is there? I'm funny.
Cool. There we go. Annette. All right. Is it ANNET?
ANNETTE.
Oh fuck, I really got it wrong. ANNETTE.
Yeah.
All right.
There we are.
Cool. Okay. All right. So Rasada met Katie from Raw. Must be about coming up for 2 years ago. And
yeah.
yeah. I think
less,
yeah. It would in June or July it'll be 2 years, I think. And the reason Rasada was called in is that Raw lost a volunteer through an accidental death, we think, huh?
Accidental overdose.
Yeah, okay. And so we brought Rasada in to kind of work with the team and the container so that people could fucking look after themselves, I guess, because this work is hairy at times.
And he must have done a good job because I'm still here. I didn't
Well
run
done.
away.
Well done. So, Dave, I kind of hear between the lines, you want me to do something or it's come in somewhere, but you hold it. But I'm just curious, if we're talking a little trauma, I'm curious to hear where people are challenged or where they see trauma and they feel like they're struggling. Maybe that's a good conversation to have. And I'm happy to listen or do whatever's needed in the container. I'm here. So in our daily work, we can think of situations where it's you struggle, the client struggles, and we can together look at that struggle and unpack it and look at different ways of dealing with it. That's my suggestion, something like that. But maybe I'm stepping in where I'm not supposed to.
Well, the first thing is working with trauma is something that you're highly specialized in. And people always talk trauma informed and you know, do you mean what's it, the ACE, adverse childhood experience? And I think that's the only exam I got 9 out of 10 on. So that was a joke, people. It's true. It's true, but I do use humor a lot to mask my stuff. Yeah. And what we teach in the clinic is there are 4 causes to addiction. Yeah. Chemical imbalance. Yeah. People are self-medicating and dual diagnosis problem. There's unresolved issues of guilt, shame, and trauma. So something's happened in the past. Inability to change current situation. So they're in a marriage or they haven't got housing or something. And then false beliefs. Yeah. And so Rasada really comes in and holds that space of unresolved issues of guilt, shame, and trauma. Yep. And that's what happens in the treatment facility. But you guys, everywhere you are, you're going to have people coming on a daily basis that are people making use of your organization and the staff inside your organization that you need to lead and manage and work with. Yeah. And this part of this week is to help you in that role. So this morning I spoke about, and by the way, it's complete fluke that Rasada came here today. But this morning I spoke about how my father died and my nephew suicided, and how difficult that was for me in my professional role at the clinic, because they were both patients at the clinic, and it impacted the clinical environment. So when they came in, I had to back off as the leader and to just put my hand up and say my role is tarnished here. Yep. And also, but it kind of played out in the system. We've got the boss's father here or the boss's nephew here. Yep. So there's that dynamic. So when it came to people saying, listen, David, we've got to discharge your nephew because it's not suitable from a risk profile, I had to be okay with that. And he was discharged and he ended up suiciding. Yeah. But that's what the clinic had to do. Does it make sense? And guys, I don't want to bring a damper in on this conversation. Like, I'm really pleased we're sitting here and having real, I'm going to say, grown-up conversations about doing better in the world. Yeah. And I want to thank you all for coming here and for what you're doing. And I know if you go around this room, we've all got fucking stories as well. So be nice and gentle and loving to yourself, and fuck it, let's see where this goes.
I actually have something, if it's okay.
Yeah, bring it. Talk.
Because it's that, you know, you said it's a fluke that Rasada's here today, and to me it's a bit of a higher power moment, because I've had a conversation today where very much my personal recovery and my professional recovery have sort of crossed over. And actually, the volunteer that we lost, that we've just been talking about, I was in day rehab with, and the person that I've been speaking to today was also there, was also on that day rehab. So it's a little mad mixture of stuff. Anyway, her situation is very complex, and I'm not going to go into details. I'm aware of the recording, but today, you know, I've had a conversation with her. She's very much back in active addiction, and there's a whole host of stuff. But what came up today was that in this latest relapse, in this active addiction, she has been sexually assaulted twice. And my fucking anger, you know, she explained the situation, you know, literally a man taking advantage of her situation and being sexually assaulted twice. First of all, my anger was clear. my sadness was clear. These fucking arseholes, who the hell do they think they are? But also, I was so sad because she's looking for support. Again, it's very complex, so there's more to it, but looking for the support. And she said, it doesn't look good, does it, that I've been raped twice? And I was like, fuck, what are you talking about? It doesn't look good. You are a victim here. What do you mean it doesn't look good? Well, I'm not going to get the support, am I? I'm not going to. And I floundered. I mean, I did everything I could to reassure, make her, realize it's not her fault. But it also raised for me, how many times does this happen? I'm fortunate I don't think it happened to me. See, and that's as far as I can go. It's raised a doubt because I don't think it did. But I know there's times when maybe it could have done. And I don't honestly, hand on heart, know whether it did or not. So it's opened a can of worms professionally and personally, and that whole rage against the fucking system, the people taking advantage. So I felt very heightened coming in here today.
Well, thank you. The whole planet's looking at this stuff, huh? Epstein and all, we're all feeling it, huh? Just my heart is touched with the situation and how often it's happening. It's just terrible. Huh? Yeah. And somewhere your authenticity touches me, that you could share that and just be cross and be sad. I'm sure that helped to melt something. Huh? What's interesting, maybe it's a bit obvious for you guys, but maybe it's worth telling a little story around trauma. There's a story of a guy who was arrested at 6 a.m. on the 6th of July in the States. Huh? And when he was arrested, he was robbing a store. And when he was arrested, someone finally looked at his records. And if he wasn't being arrested on the 6th of July, he was in jail. And someone said to him, what happened on the 6th of July? And he said, well, the last guy died in my platoon in the army in Vietnam. And I tell that story because somewhere there's a big, there's a few ways of saying it, but there's our compulsion to repeat. And I say life is very generous, that offers us the opportunity to heal. And the big challenge in addiction I'm finding is we think we've kind of done it. Okay, I fixed it, I'm done, I've finished with my mom, I'm finished with that, it's done, it's done. And then life comes and says, no, you ain't quite done. Similar situations back again. And either we freak out or we build that muscle that says, wow, what opportunity. Let me look at this, And I mean, it's a terrible example to say, let's look at this, but the thing keeps repeating, so we have to look at it, yeah? I don't know if that helps when I say that, but it gives a wider lens for what we're dealing with and how to, the bigger picture. Please, anyone asks, tell what you think about what I'm saying, or if there's a more specific question, Katie, around how to deal with it. Huh?
I think what you said makes perfect sense. And this is what I say to people when challenges come up, when perhaps something's activated within you, within me, I always try and use it as an opportunity to either work some more on myself, like you say, look at it from a long lens, or try and help that person look at it. People get so pissed off with me because I try and do that all the time, to try and use this as an opportunity, and they're going, but I'm fucking tearing my hair out and everyone's a bastard and I hate the world, and you're saying use it as an opportunity. But what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? And that's the way I try and look at it. So it makes sense.
And let's look at another way. I mean, that's us as facilitators in the back of our minds. but let's together look at how to say it without it sounding like, okay, yippee, another. Let me sit with it while maybe someone else wants to add or think of something.
So I just want to, just for a second, is Katie's in a role as a director of an organization, and that role has got outside pressure, yeah, to perform as a director, and then dealing with someone, yeah, in a professional leadership role has activated a whole lot of personal stuff as well. Yeah. And so the idea of this space as well, or this part of the training, is just to kind of, what's the role calling for and where do we place it? Now, in this room here, this screen, this is a classroom where we're learning about this stuff. This isn't a trauma processing group session. Yeah. However, processing the trauma in that context is good for the role. And it's going to make you a better leader because you can integrate your own lived experience into an authentic way that you can bring it to the role. And I notice as I hold this container, there's a tension in me. It's like, oh, fucking keep it tidy. Keep it tidy, David. Fucking, yeah.
Maybe I say one more piece about the traumas. There's this journey of trauma informed that we all know like a little bit about trauma, and it's actually a bit dangerous sometimes, but it's helping. Yeah. And then there's trauma sensitive, where we can see it and we can just hold it. It's not that we have to do the repair or know that how to fix it, but that we're trauma sensitive to the situation. So trauma informed is a little like, that's your fight flight, or that's this, or that's this. Trauma sensitive is much more of just being the container and the listener and the holding and understanding where someone is and listening to someone is in those stages. And then I forget the exact words, but there's trauma informed, trauma sensitive, and then there's somehow the trauma repair or the trauma, it'll come to me now.
Trauma amnesia.
Amnesia, thank you. And then there's, now I've lost it all.
Sorry, mate. That's
fine.
That's my perfect trickster. Fucking keep the peace. Keep the peace.
Yeah. But somewhere in that trauma sensitive is what I'm pointing to, that we hold this bigger picture and understanding. So it's not that every time someone's traumatized, you have to be able to get them out of it or release it or get them to understand or resolve it. But just in the understanding of certain fundamentals, we can hold and meet. Yeah. And I can go into those fundamentals if they help. But for me, I just want to hear Marcus, Bailey, Andrew, just say a word or two so I know where we are. We're on the right place.
Yeah, I suppose just touching on what Katie said about some of the people around not sort of, you said maybe trying to learn from the situation, and they're thinking, why aren't you so heightened as I am? But I sort of compare it to if you're in a burning building and everyone's running around screaming, it's not going to help the situation, is it? You need someone just to be calmer in the situation and try and find a way through it. It's similar to that, really, is what I can compare it to. But it's difficult in the moment. But if you can, rather than make it a negative, and then try and get something from it that you can learn from to make something from it, rather than it being completely negative.
That's a beautiful analogy description of it, and it is what's needed, that we stay centered or able to hold. That's very much what it is. And then we bring our work to this room and other rooms to vent and process. But in the moment, we need to be able to hold it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It's quite heavy. It's something that's quite close to my heart. I know a lot of people and I have a personal experience with sexual trauma. I did a training a while ago with an organization and it was on vicarious trauma. So the trauma that we pick up from the clients that we work with. So I guess for you, you've got the client side and now you've got like your employee. I don't want it to seem like I'm like teaching people to suck eggs, but like you've already done the group work, I guess, processing what originally happened. And I guess it's a similar process of bringing people together and just, again, it's not one of those things that's done in like three sessions, 6 sessions, or 12 sessions. It's as long as it takes the team to come through it and hold in space to share authentically how this is affecting us, how it's affecting the organization, but nevertheless, in respect of like the person's memory and what that person has been through, somehow the organization and those involved have got to find a way of taking that situation and using it as fuel to make sure your organization can be better equipped to deal with those in the future. But yeah, I'm not wholly experienced, but that's just my sort of, you've got to sit as people. I think the answer is just sit together and be human. Obviously, it's not that simple, but that's effectively holding a space for that scenario and for those people that have been through it. So that's my input. And
Yeah,
thank you again for sharing
Marcus.
that.
I can hear the lived experience in the room. You've got a lot. We've each got, with lived experience, we've got things to share that hit the point. Really said a few beautiful things. Bailey, you want to add? Jade?
I don't really have much to say on it. To be honest, I'm just sort of listening and I haven't got anything to say that hasn't already been said. To be honest.
It's just good to hear your voice.
Yeah, so for me, I just try to create a safe space for them. So if I'm in there and I'm sharing my experience around my trauma and what I do around that today, it just makes it easier for them to share with me their stuff. Makes it the environment a lot safer for them to talk. If I'm getting humble and sharing my experience around my trauma and what I do today around that, they seem to open up a lot more.
Yeah, your voice has a resonance that says it works.
Yeah.
It works. Thank you, James. Yeah, this thing of personal share in the psychology world, which I'm not, they really can't share personally. You're not supposed to share personally. And here we're learning to do that in a way that's really lands.
And so just repeat that again, Rasada.
In the psychological world, you train not to say anything of yourself. It's like you stay distant and the client must tell their story. But
Great.
And with lived experience, and especially in the rehab and with life, we have to be authentic and show up. And it's not that I don't know, there's times of oversharing or yes, but me, but there's times where just the humanness of sharing your own experience really, thank you. I can't tell you how many times I've shared something and the client said, just Thank you. That was the moment. Thank you for telling me that. I'm not alone, you know?
So I asked you to repeat it, to really just put coaching in our block where we
Yeah.
can share parts of our authentic self. We are not encroaching on that clinical space. Yep. And now take that one step further in the systemic wellness practitioner space. We're looking at leadership and management in our roles within the organization. So to give you an example, when I started the rehab, yep, I thought it was my job to employ all my sponsees. Yeah. So I gave all my sponsees job in this rehab. And every time I'd hold them accountable for not doing their fucking job, they'd bring out stuff from their step 4 or whatever. And you reminded me, and I'd have to go, you're not in fucking therapy here. You're here to do a job. Yep. And that was hard as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
So
the boundaries were got very blurred. So this space is about learning that as well. Hello, Emma. Welcome from, where are you now? Portland,
Oregon. Yeah.
Portland, Oregon. Cool. Nice to see you.
You too.
Rosada can catch you up on what we've been doing on this container.
Rosada, hello.
Hey, Emma, welcome. Good to
Oh,
see you.
you too.
So I was a surprise, and then we started talking about trauma, and then Katie shared a rough client situation today, and we've just been unpacking different ways of how to meet a really challenging situation.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a good summary or fair. Jade, Annette, you want to say something that we hear your voices?
I think what we've just said about going from like a clinical perspective, I really struggled with that because before working in the job I'm in now, I used to work in the hospital, and I struggled to go from a clinical setting into this setting, to the point where like I didn't tell people I was in recovery. I didn't know how to word it. I was like, oh no, you can't know that. Even though it's lived experience, I felt really strange about it. Even when I'd done the David Collins training and everyone stood up now, I stayed, my ass was glued to that seat. I wasn't standing. Absolutely not. Until I cried all day and then everyone knew everything. So I went from a place of not telling anyone anything to oversharing. It was mad. And I still find it hard, that balance of letting people in and knowing things and sharing bits about myself so they feel comfortable to share.
Yeah.
And neither like reining it in too much or going like way too far. I haven't found that like tipping point yet.
Mm.
And in the hospital environment, Jade, that those kind of boundaries are very important, not only for the patients, but also the staff.
Yeah, definitely. And I can remember I got really upset once about a patient's death. And I was pulled to one side by the sister, and she was just like, this is not your relative or loved one to cry over. This is not your time to grieve. Like, pull yourself together and get back out there. Like, shut up and put up. Like, go. And yeah, she was right. But it was the first time I'd seen someone die. So it was a bit of a potato situation.
And those places have got a lot of experience of being like that, rightly so. So what we're doing is looking to support that, but also to understand that our perspective adds to those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the other side of it is you get patients that don't tell their doctors the truth because of the power dynamic, because people feel ashamed to tell the doctor what's going on. Yep. So if you've got someone that you can relate to that is kind of supporting the relationship of that person taking responsibility with the treatment provider, treatment professional, that improves the outcome.
Yeah, it's a more holistic approach, isn't it? Because then they've got it from both sides.
And a lot of doctors are under pressure just to see people like, quickly what's going on, triage and all that. And the emotional stuff is getting dismissed, and that keeps the trauma going because the person hasn't got a place to feel heard.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, my 3-day intensive workshops are traumatic.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I've talked to my therapist about you. Sorry.
I'm trying to work out how to take that. I'm going to take that as a compliment.
It's all right, David. It's not like it's being recorded or anything.
No. It's just being streamed live.
Oh, dear.
Do you want to add something in it?
I just have to be mindful all of the time that whenever I'm talking to anyone in recovery or who comes into recovery, that I don't sort of talk about myself, because like I'm going through a lot of trauma at the minute. Sometimes I tend to talk about myself, which takes everything away from them when they've come in to see us. So I have to be really mindful of what I'm saying and how I go about saying things. And it has been difficult a few times because everything's raw with me at the minute. But yeah, I've always got to be mindful on what I'm saying and things like that.
Yeah, we have to. I remember, I got one more thing I wanted to add that I was trying to remember this trauma informed, trauma sensitive, and then there's trauma repair and trauma preventative. And somewhere we all in all four. So there's places I'm still learning about it. There's places I'm sensitive of it. There's places I can really help. And there's places with the wisdom we've learned, we can prevent it. So those four things, I think they're happening in all of us at different ways, different times. Katie, are you clear with, you got some helpful info, or you got some more around what happened today?
No, that's perfect. It all makes perfect sense. And I think I kind of just needed to say it out loud for starters, because sometimes that's all you need, isn't it? To say it out loud, to recognize it's brought something up for me and it's a bit tricky, and then move on, learn from it and move on as best I can.
Good.
I know there'll be something else next week and I'll do the same thing all over again.
Good, Dave. Take us the next step.
Okay, so let's talk about compassion fatigue. I think Marcus mentioned vicarious trauma. Yeah, and I would say compassion fatigue is a result of just fucking listening to people's trauma all fucking day, all day long. It's like fucking, I just have a fucking break, and then getting kind of angry and resentful about it, or going home after working here and then your kid comes to you or something and wants some love and care, and it's like, well, fuck, I haven't got time. I've given it all away to everyone for the good of mankind. Yeah. And that's also something that I'm so fucking guilty of that. And there's also something very seductive working in these sorts of environments because it's so chaotic, it becomes addictive itself. Like the drama of it, the drama of it. And I remember coming back from South Africa 4 years ago, and I'd listen to people on the train or walking the dogs, and they'd talk about, oh, I've got to get myself a nice steak at Aldi tonight for supper, and I'm going down B&Q, and I've got a new drill bit, and I'm just thinking, fucking hell, you've no idea. We talk about hijackings, robberies, electricity plant, like have a proper conversation, why don't you people? And it's like, and just carrying that, like, fucking hell. And then walking around, being lost, looking for a place in London on Google Maps, but being like this because somebody's going to come and nick my fucking phone, and just being hyper vigilant the whole time until like I'm in a safe place. And it's only kind of acknowledging the way that I'm reacting in these environments that gives it a bit of breathing space. I don't need people to do anything. I just need to, like Katie just said, just kind of own it and put it in the container.
I relate to those two things massively. I'm in this job now because I had to leave the NHS because of me compassion fatigue. I've seen too many things and just couldn't be there anymore. And there's only so much you can care for other people and keep on going until you're just exhausted and you're like, well, I can't look after anyone else again. I'm done. But then I couldn't be in a normal job because I got bored. And I was like, where's the excitement? Where's the everything else? Like you're saying, like I felt like I was constantly vibrating. I was just sat there, just like buzzing, like I need something. And I've ended up here, and now Annette has to deal with this.
And now it's about getting the balance right, Jade.
Yeah.
And that's somewhere between me and your therapist.
Oh no! Come on. You're not going to live that down. I'm not, and I'm going to tell them all about it.
I'm going to keep that in a little box and pull it out at time. Emma, what's it like for you? You're working back in a eating disorder unit.
No, I'm working at a clinic, doing ketamine integration.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's good. It's pretty amazing watching people change. Yeah. Or try to for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. The results are good. Yeah.
What does ketamine integration mean?
Oh, okay. So people go on ketamine journeys, and my job is to sit with them before they do the journey, set their intentions, and then after the journey, we talk about what happened during the journey and how to apply that to their lives. And I kind of help them start to make changes, figure out new habits they want to put in, things that they want to be different. And so we do, where I am, we do IV ketamine, so it's 6 times in a 2-week period. So it's intense, and then there's a break, and then they come back another month later. And ultimately, if they want to, they can replace the antidepressants with ketamine treatment because it's very good for helping people with depression, anxiety, PTSD, addiction, working on addiction. Yeah. It's interesting work. Yeah.
Do they replace or do they move on and drop both? I mean, am I just replacing it with ketamine or am I moving on?
You're hopefully replacing it with ketamine. Oh, eventual. That's the thing with ketamine. I mean, psilocybin has a longer life. It has effects for longer, but ketamine usually gives you like a 3-week window where you reset your brain to some extent, and then you're able to, while everything is coming back together, you're able to try and put in new habits so that different different parts of your brain connect again. It's like shaking a snow globe, and then as it all settles back, yeah, you can
Cool.
do things a bit differently.
What's the long? I mean, I don't suppose you know properly, but what's the long-term success of that kind of thing? 'Cause it fascinates me. Obviously, working in the addiction field and seeing people struggle with ketamine. For me, in the early days when people spoke about this, I was like, "Fuck, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I mean, do you know what I mean?
Well,
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that is a real problem with ketamine, that it can be addictive. But the way we do it, it's a smaller amount, and in fact, the smaller the amount, the better the therapy. Because if you do a lot, you sometimes go beyond the point of being able to really talk to the client and work things out. But I mean,
But
typically
I'm
people
on the
don't.
spiral dose where I'm fucking seeing spirals and tripping out, and I don't
Well,
want to fucking.
that is how it is with the IV, and then you can talk to them a day later when they've like processed what happened. But you can do low dose ketamine with lozenges, and then you're much more available to talk during. Yeah, and discuss what's going on. Yeah.
So is there such a thing as called trauma beliefs, Rasada?
Trauma beliefs. I think, yeah, it sounds like
So something, so coming from a very rigid 12-step complete abstinent kind of background, and ketamine being a rave drug. Yeah, when I hear this, straight away I go, "Oh fuck! Oh my god, what's Emma talking about now? The fucking container's gonna go." It's like talking about racism or something. It becomes like a diversity thing. So it's like, "Oh fuck, there's things in the room now." Yeah,
yeah.
and from a coaching perspective, there's multiple pathways to recovery. Yeah. In the addiction treatment perspective in the UK, and I imagine the US as well, a lot of people with lived experience have gone the 12-step route and then gone through a clinical training. Yep. And then it's CBT, EMDR, fucking whatever the latest, DBT, fucking trauma, whatever. Yeah. Now psychedelic treatments like come in, and now it's like, oh fuck, I know it's just people wanting to use and fucking saying it's treatment or whatever. It becomes quite a charged topic. Yeah.
Maybe I can talk a little bit to what's underneath it. What happens in the understanding of trauma, there's association and disassociation, or overcoupling and undercoupling, right? So I have a car accident on a Tuesday with a red car in the morning. Yeah, there's a trauma happens. And now what happens is there's a whole lot of over associations with red cars and Tuesday mornings and came from my left and I never look to my left. I'm always looking to my left. It's like something gets overcoupled with an event or a situation. And then at the same time that happened, now something is disassociated. I lose some of my essence. Maybe I can't laugh anymore, or maybe I keep falling over, or maybe, there's a whole lot of things happen in my essence that get cut off. So there's some disassociation of my essence, and that now I'm walking around with these extra imprints. So in the trauma repair, it's like I've got to let go of what's not mine or what's not so important. Red cars are just red cars. Tuesday morning is just Tuesday morning. But my ability to laugh and whatever feels like is gone, I need to claim it back. Is that a good example? Yeah. So what happens with any kind of drug experience, especially, yeah, is there's a whole lot of associations with drugs. As a kid, I mean, I used to blackouts and a lot, so God knows what happened and what's associated and what disassociated in those blackouts. Yeah. So I'm trying to explain that absolutely you can have a belief that ketamine and an experience of ketamine that's terrible, or you can have a complete experience of ketamine that it's just ketamine and it didn't take anything from me. It can be helpful, it can be terrible, but it's not I hope I'm transmitting something of what it is that we've got to unpick. It's like the story of a rose is a rose is a rose or something. It's like initially a rose is a rose, and then a rose is a million fucking things, and then one day it's just a rose again. Yeah. So that's what we got to do with a lot of things.
That makes so much sense to me. It does make so much sense to me because, like I said at the beginning, when this whole ketamine treatment come up and you know, using mushrooms and that kind of thing, and I was like, shit, you can't do that if you're in addiction. Now, I don't think I could do that in addiction. Hold my hands. I don't think I could because I know me. But what I now understand is my brain is not everyone else's brain. My experience is not everyone else's experience. So actually, if I knew that I had the brain that would respond to ketamine therapy and would suddenly cure me of all my shit, I would be 100% up for it. You know, it's that again, meeting people where they are, what's useful for them, and being open to it.
There's that gambler in the background that made everyone late. I just saw Steve there in the background. So we're going to take a break now. Yeah. But what I do want to say is that families are desperate to do whatever they can to get their loved one well. And my sister was desperate to get her son well, my nephew. Yep. And Matthew went on ketamine treatments as well. Yep. And he ended up suiciding. Yep. He tried the abstinence 12-step. He tried psychiatric places. He tried Christian places. He tried all sorts of things. And there's a desperation that happens in the families, and communities have opinions, and everyone fucking projects their opinion onto it. Yep. And being in a professional role in a lived experienced organization, you got to get comfortable with those things. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful description, beautiful example.
All right, so come back at 5 past, because I think some people are going to use nicotine. Oh my God. I'm using caffeine. It's so much better. Okay, see you at 5 past. Lovely to see you, Emma. Please stick around, huh? Good.
Oh my God. Be back. Right, brew. That's what I need. I need tea. Takes longer than 5 minutes to boil the kettle. Ah, thank God for that. Boil the kettle in the kitchen.
Hey, Rosada, you're back.
I'm back. I'm back.
Thank you for just popping in like this. How long are you in
Yeah.
Cape Town for?
Yeah, for a few days, and then I'm in Stellenbosch for a week for the training, sir.
Okay.
So I'm back in Joburg on the 12th.
And which organization interviewed you?
It was a French organization that came and interviewed. It's a year ago, and they on the French. It's like a French website that interviews and translates all kind of books and interviews people. And they interviewed Mamkanya, and they interviewed me. Yeah?
Cool.
Cool.
Okay, I think the professionals are coming back. We better behave ourselves.
They caught me.
It's nice to see you, Emma.
Great.
It's nice to see you, and it's nice to see you, Rosada. It's been a long time.
Cool, eh?
Yeah.
The old troublemakers.
I often wonder what would have happened had Bill W. and his psychedelic treatment been integrated into AA.
Yeah.
What would have happened? Because all that stuff was kind of legal until the end of the 60s when Nixon came in with the war on drugs, and then there was that split.
Yeah.
And when AA started, it was people were still drinking alcoholic in secret because of prohibition. So people used to meet in secret, hence the anonymity being so strong. Yeah. And I always wonder what would have happened if we kind of recovered out loud without this kind of secret shame-based, yeah. And so it does, I mean, just talking ketamine treatment and all that stuff really does trigger my kind of complete abstinence Nazi stance that I practiced for so many years until it didn't work for me anymore. And then I kind of realized, but fuck, it's not working anymore. The majority of people aren't getting well because of this, and because it's kind of become fundamental. This page, that chapter, that line, it says, if you just follow that line, then it's become like the Bible. Yeah. You just need to read this chapter, this verse, this. Yeah. So yeah, it's complex. And I think a lot of organizations and boards get set in their ways. This is the way we do things. We know it's not working, but it's too traumatic to try and do it a different way. So that people like carry on behaving in this way because, yeah, we know it doesn't work, and people get comfortable complaining about it all the time because to actually go and do the work to change it is too overwhelming. Yeah. So just to give you an example, in the corporate space in South Africa, where there's been a lot of disparity and a lot of racial history and a lot of gender-based stuff, corporates talk about transformation, but all that happens is instead of transforming the way people do business to distribute the funds more fairly, they get women or black people in these roles to sit in the boardroom that are just behaving exactly the same as the people that created the boardroom. And so you don't kind of bring any transformational energy in. What happens is the people that get accepted into those boardrooms, those places, it's like tick box exercise. Okay, so there we've got the black person, then we've got the female, then we've got the gay, then we've got the fucking, then we've got the gambler, and then we've got the alcoholic, and there's a crackhead, and oh fuck, there's David. Let's not put him in there. But like, so we've got to be careful about that. And families will often say they want to change. So they'll send their loved one to the clinic. Yeah. The loved one gets sober and then starts to hold the family accountable for their dysfunctional behavior. And usually what happens is then the family turn around and say, that clinic's a cult and they just this and that, because the family's unable to own their dysfunction and we become the bad guys. When actually we're just kind of the truth tellers. Okay, everyone back? James, do you want to start the check-in?
Yeah, I'm all right. Maybe myself a fresh coffee. But yeah, man, I always enjoy these. Like, obviously, I come from a 12-step background, where my beliefs were the only thing that worked was 12 steps. And then obviously when I'm getting into this sort of work, I'm getting to know every recovery path, learning about every recovery path so I can teach them recovery paths, because it's not everyone's beliefs aren't the same. It's whatever works for them, and learning that recovery for some people it's not total absence, just recovery is just returning to a better form of self. That's me.
Thanks, James. Who are you tagging?
Jade.
Oh no. It's funny you should say that, because I'm like the absolute opposite of 12 steps. So I'm checking in really good, and I find it so interesting that like 12 steps works for some people, but for me it just instantly gets me back up, and I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I like the autonomy. I like the idea of it's my choice, and it's not even like self-blame. It's my fault, but like I chose to do these things, so I can choose to not do these things. I'm not giving anything over to a higher power. I am my own higher power. So yeah, I think it's dead interesting, and I think that's why things like this are dead important, so we can all like link in together and learn from each other. So thanks, James. Emma.
I'm checking in, feeling calm. Yeah, and more connected to all of you. Yeah.
Tag someone.
Sorry, I have to. I'll tag Rasada.
You're out to practice, huh?
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be here. It's good to meet you all. I'll tag Andrew.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that first half, and I think like Jade said, I just enjoy listening to everyone's experiences and where they're at the moment, and everyone's got different paths of recovery and helping people. So I get so much from these sessions. So thank you for letting me join them. And I will tag Paddy.
Yeah, nice to meet everyone, and yeah, really happy to be here and really enjoyed the topics, the conversation. Some stuff was a bit deep, some cut a bit close to the bone, but overall, yeah, really taking on board all the different sort of information and viewpoints everyone's got. And I'll tag in Marcus.
Hey, yeah, I'm feeling moved actually, and grateful that we can, like, even though this isn't a support group, we can still sort of carry stuff together. And just grateful that Katie shared in the way she did earlier about what she's going through. And I've learned something new, compassion fatigue. So it resonates a lot, and it's kind of answered a lot of my frustration, like that it's kind of put a feeling or a name to those frustrations that I was feeling. So I'll probably go away and have a little look into that and how to keep that at bay while still trying to be productive. So, and I will tag Annette.
I'm checking in, full of gratitude that I get so much from these meetings. And it really does make me think of like how far I've come to where I am now. Yeah, so I'm just checking in for the gratitude. Have I got anyone else?
Katie.
Yeah, I'm checking in, grateful, full of gratitude. I'm a bit overexcited. I get like this, we have the first half and it stirs up all this stuff in me, and I just want to talk about it for the rest of the day, and people get really annoyed, and so I try and be quiet and I try and listen because silence is my big problem. So it's, that's where I am. But I love this stuff. I just love this stuff, and I'm so grateful for this space. That's why I've been coming for about 2 years. And I will tag David.
Thanks. What do you love about this stuff, Katie?
I love that it's not uniform. None of this stuff is uniform. 2 + 2 doesn't always equal 4 in our environment. And I love that. I love looking at the way things can be changed, how different ideas can be formed, how early we still are in understanding a lot of this stuff and being able to be part of looking at it more. It really gets my Coco Versace going. I just and the connection, the space here where I can be me. And that is the most amazing thing, that it doesn't matter that I'm a little bit of a knob sometimes. It's okay.
Right, so where should we take the container? Why don't we all introduce ourselves with our roles, our professional roles, just so we can okay. So I'm David, I'm a trainer and a facilitator. Basada?
I'm Sada, and I work at the rehab as my job is for the last 20 years or more, I've been going in and doing this mix of meditation, constellation, and trauma work. And it keeps me humble. And what's my role there? My role is to stay humble and listen and try and share what I've been learning. And now my role for the next week will be an assistant on a training. So there's 40 psychologists, and I'm part of a team teaching trauma worker. That's some of my roles.
Oh, fuck. That's going to be traumatic.
It's my 6th time with this group. It's a 3-year training, and it's the 6th time. So I'm pretty chilled. But it is scary. I'll tag Marcus.
It's a good question. I've been battling. I've only ever been an addict. I've been more than that, but I'm starting to accept that I'm becoming, the more I tune into this space, and I've been around it a while, but coming out the other side of my addiction and my struggles, I'm starting to accept the label of expert by experience. And I hope that I can take that into an organization of my own, and hold space for other people to go through their journey and class themselves as experts by experience. Because I think addict is a very limiting tag to find ourselves. While it helped me for a long time, bringing me to this point, it's time to shed that and step into the professional side. So yeah, I will tag Emma.
I am Emma, and I am an integration coach at a ketamine clinic. And a strong part of me is an addict too. And I tag Jade.
Hello. I am a community I'm a community coach at Recovery Connections. That was hard to say. For now. But I will be hopefully soon moving into the role of coordinator for the ambassadors. So I don't know when that is, hopefully soon. And I want to coordinate our ambassadors so that they can be visible recovery in our community. I want to build bridges with lots of different people and places and try and connect us all together so that more people can get into recovery. So yeah, that's what I would like to achieve. I'll go Katie.
Thank you. My role is I'm executive director, volunteer coordinator, facilitator, trainer, coach, mentor, admin, general dog's body, and doer of a lot of things. I love my job. I absolutely love my job. And I can see that real difference is being made, and how doing this stuff has changed a lot of my mindset, and I can be looking at things a little bit differently, and hopefully that goes upward, downward through the organisation. And I will tag Andrew.
Yes, Katie. I haven't got as many jobs as you at the moment, but I'm a recovery coach for Epic Restart Foundation, using my own lived experience in gambling harm, help others through it as well. I did work for the NHS last year, so I've kind of got the experience of good and bad experience of working with the NHS. Joined Epic in November, so yeah, it's a lot more suited to where I'm at in my recovery. So enjoying it. And I will tag Annette.
I'm an ambassador. Oh God, I can't even get my words out. I'm an ambassador for Recovery Connections. I've been in addiction, and I've also lived with someone who's been in addiction and passed away through it. So I think that I can offer both sides of it for families and supporting people with addictions. Yeah, that's me. Just an ambassador. Never. Who have we got there? Sorry? Oh, I'll tag Bally.
Thanks, Annette. So I work for Epic Restart Foundation as well as a recovery coach. So I've only started 5 weeks ago, and I've got sort of lived experience of gambling harm as well. So joined here because I want to just help others really, and make sure that people don't go through sort of what I went through. So yeah, so really just here just to support others really. And I'll pass on to James.
Yeah, I'm a prehab coach for Recovery Connections. I do one-to-one sessions with people, get them ready, prepare them for rehab. Obviously, I've been in rehab myself, so I can give my experience on that. I'm also starting to deliver the recovery wellness into prisons, which I'm really been looking forward to. I went in last week to talk to them about what we're going to be delivering, how we're going to be delivering it, and we're just waiting for a start date. I'm really enjoying it. That's me.
Okay, so let's just take a couple of seconds to acknowledge the wisdom in this room and all the different roles. And 20 years ago, what was available?
Not much.
AA.
I think it was
There
quite
was
good.
there was nothing available, so I didn't know of anything available for me. Obviously, I grew up in prisons, and I felt like there was nothing available for me in there, recovery wise. And I managed to get about a year clean before I got out, and I just wish I knew there was something about recovery, because the minute I got out of that prison, I was just flat out using again. I felt like I had nothing there, nothing was in place for us. Like, I felt like I had no one and nothing and didn't know what to do. That's why I've been so looking forward to this, going into the prisons, because I just wish I had that.
How old are you, James?
I'm 33.
And how old are you when you first went into an institution?
14 and a half.
14 and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had 6 months out till I was 29-year-old.
So from 14 and a half till 20, till you were 29, so 15 and a half years, you had 6 months out.
Yeah.
Fuck. Jesus. I've no idea what to say.
There's nothing really to say. It's all around my own actions. I am not dealing with things.
I think it's so amazing that you are advocating this stuff. We're working with a guy who was in prison for 18 years, and we was afforded to be able to have virtual meetings with him before he was released. And he's been out 9 weeks now, and we've been supporting him pre-release and outside release. And thankfully, he got a lot of the support he needed, as in medication wise and diagnosis wise, while he was in prison. And I can see that kind of thing in you. How, if people are given the right support, if people are given the stuff, they can grow from all of that. Do you know?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah,
It's just I'm seeing it, and it's amazing. I'm seeing this happening.
yeah. I think more stuff needs to be done for people like in prisons, for them
Yeah, it's
for them
it's a,
for them getting out.
no, 100%, James, because I did some work. I don't think he was on the call earlier. So I worked for 3 years, helped setting up a project for a charity where we were supporting lads coming towards the end of their sentence back into employment. So that was in 2000, and it was during COVID, so 2020 to 2023. And it was shocking to see how bad the criminal justice system and how far behind it still was in sort of 2023, because the system's just broken, and it's a shame, because most people I used to speak with, and I've got lived experience on in that side as well, so I was super passionate about going in and again supporting people that I'd walked in their shoes and showing them there was a different way to live. But the
When you
system
say
was so
you've got lived experience with that side, what does that mean?
And so when I was 19, I spent time in a young offenders institution for 8 months.
Okay, so you've been incarcerated.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But then after release, I sort of got a job and worked in recruitment for majority of my career, even though I had an active gambling addiction. So yeah, that job was really my first sort of taste of supporting others and helping others live a better life. But the system was so broken, and there was most of the lads I would speak to wanted to work, and they didn't want to come back to prison because it's not a nice, it's a shit place to be. There's nothing good about being there. But then, the little things like the prison wouldn't sort their ID out. So without ID, they can't get a job. So now they can't get a job, but they've got to support, they've got maybe 2 or 3 kids that they've got to support. And they might have said no on day one when they're released, or on week two. But then when they're getting these constant blockers, or employers just being shit towards them, or them not being able to access employment, on week 5, for example, they're going to go, fuck it, I need to earn, I need to survive, I need to feed my kids. And then they make bad decisions. And then they end up back, where inside where what they know, and then it's just that constant cycle. And it was a real challenge to try and break that cycle. And I won't rant too much, but then probation don't help either. But I get the fact that they've got these massive caseloads, but they were shit. Like they've got too many people on their books. They can't fulfill what they should be doing as a probation officer, and they've just got this revolving door of people as well. And it's easier for them to just press the recall button, and that was the frustrating bit. We'd be working with someone, we've been working with them for months, they're on the right track, they have one minor slip up, and it's just easy for the probation officer just to press the recall button, which sends them back to prison for 8 weeks, rather than actually dealing with what's in front of them, because it makes their job easier. It's one off their caseload, and they don't have to worry about it. But they don't understand the impact that has on that lad who's been walking the straight line, trying to do everything right, and But yeah, so for me, it's a really broke. James is right. There's loads of good things happening. There's loads of different charities similar to mine. We actually went up, James, to the northeast, and we set the project up in HMP Northumberland because there's a really good charity up in the northeast doing similar work as us. So I showed them how to kind of use our model, because we used to actually use serving prisoners as part of our staff. So they would do the recruitment of the lads on the wings, because peer-to-peer model inside prison works really well.
Yeah.
But the system overall is just, still needs a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
I had a question to ask. It's probably more for James. What's the dynamic like in prison, like on the wing? How is it perceived if someone's trying to help themselves? Is there like a large population that kind of doesn't engage in that? And if you're seen to do that, then you're not like one of them? Or is it support? Because like Ballet is saying that peer-to-peer works. So how do you get it to work? And is there that dynamic on the wing that kind of holds each other back through, I don't know, whatever reason? Because I get the system's broken. Like I completely understand that side of it, but just on the wing, like what's the dynamic like when you're trying to help yourself?
So obviously when I'm going in, I'm giving my experience around my life. In not all of them, but some of them, when I've been in, they've actually been in there with us. They've been in prison with us. They can see how I've changed my life and see how things work. Then they start to get that little bit of like, oh yeah, he seems to be all right. He's doing well, and that's that's where I get a lot of joy out of it. Like a real lot of joy, that I see the twerk, like the little twerk in their eyes that comes alight. Then you can see, then they're starting engaging with you. So we do one-to-one work as well as groups. So we get to know this individual on a level. We get to know things about him. We keep it professional, tell him things about us, but we get a connection with them so that they can then talk to us.
But generally, Marcus, to answer your question, is most people want, again, like you've said earlier, they're just human beings. They're just human beings that have made, I always used to say, they've just made shit decisions. They've just been in an environment where their decision making's been poor, which has led them, because a lot of the times I used to talk to them and I used to be listening to them and think, I could be in here again because I've done stuff that's been quite close to the sort of edge. But generally, they're humans. They want good for each other. They want people to do well. There's not people, if someone's doing better for themselves, normally it's a good for you type thing. There is a dynamic, especially on sort of certain wings, more the sort of people who go in to try to recover from drugs. I've heard some horrendous stories how some people try and get them back onto it, i.e. they might go to drug rehab for a couple of weeks. When they come back onto wing, whoever the kind of dealer is will slip them a freebie to kind of, so I've heard bad stories like that, but generally everyone's rooting for each other. People want each other to do well. And I think the most important thing is some people in there, but not just in there, just in the real world, are just full of shit and they're not ready for the help. I think when that person's was ready to meet us in the place where they're fed up of being in prison for the last 10, 20 years and they just want a different life, or they've made that commitment to change, that's when they would really give themselves to the program, do everything they were going to do, and then actually make the change, and didn't really care about what was being said on the wing. But no, generally, I think people support each other.
And as well, if people are wanting recovery and to change their lives and they're showing that little bit that they're wanting that, they can then go on to a recovery wing.
Yeah.
Like everybody on that wing's the wanting recovery.
I was going to ask, so once you show that willingness, is there another environment in which you're kind of put into like the clean fish bowl? As I was talking with David yesterday.
Yeah, there's a recovery wing.
Well, thanks for that.
And it was good, Marcus. One thing that helped us with our project when we first started, because we're only in one prison, it was the idea of a serving prisoner in HMP Birmingham. So it was just his idea because he saw those barriers. And when we got our first few bits of sort of success of lads that had been in, but then we'd got him a job, and then I kind of sent pictures into the governor, and the governor, from the feedback I was getting, apparently the euphoria around the wings was amazing, because they'd heard that Sean's doing amazing and he's landed himself this job. And then all of a sudden, because again, you got to remember, in that environment, there's a big problem with trust. So people have come through the care system, people have been continuously let down. So they don't really trust externals like me going in or you going in. They just think, oh, here he is, somebody else full of shit. So when they actually started to see that there was actually real results, and we were genuinely getting people into jobs, because they've been promised everything, all of a sudden the kind of non-believers that weren't signing up were actually lining up at the door and saying, listen, John, can you sort me out as well? Because I've got a miss on my back, I'm going to be released. So actually that euphoria and that feel-good factor really spread through the prisons. And then it allowed us to kind of grow. So we grew from like one prison to 5. Then we started running the project in 5 prisons in the West Midlands, 1 up in the Northeast, and then in London. And even now the guys are doing really good things, and it's grown. So I think generally, once people saw that it was real, they wanted a piece of it, because they wanted change. They didn't want to keep coming back to prison.
That's amazing. So the proof's in the pudding, as long as they get to taste the pudding.
Yeah, that's it. Once they've seen it, like John, the guy who used to be our guy in HMP Birmingham, he said, I can't believe so-and-so came up my door. I never thought he would be the guy that would come and ask for help. So again, in that male sort of oriented environment, in front of their mates, they'd all give it the bigger, like, I don't need a job, I'm patterned up, I'm this, I'm that. But then when everyone would go away, John would say, they'd come to him and say, John, I'm desperate for a job, mate. Can you please help me? Like, I really need to get my shit together. So, yeah. It was good.
I don't think you can beat that visible live recovery, can you? I mean, there's nothing worse than someone reading it out of a book and trying to preach to you if they haven't been through it themselves.
Yeah.
I honestly think that visible live recovery is the best for any.
It is. It just helps build that initial trust. So I used to use it, like, they used to see me, and the moment I used to say to them, look, guys, I've been where you are, they'd be like, no way, really? I was like, look, yeah. And then all of a sudden you'd just see this shift in energy, and all of a sudden they'd want to talk to you, and they'd be like, oh, boss, can you please help me? Can you do this? So I think it does help. It does definitely help.
Maybe I can add something. My journey of recovery, I was an addict from an early teenager till the army, where I was locked up in an army jail for a few months. And by some miracle there, I had a little book on meditation. I started meditating, and that's what got me going. And then 20-something years later, I meet David Collins. He said, you might have stopped substance, but you're still an addict. So, but I've really got a love to hear these stories, and they touch me deeply. And I really know that there's a deep opportunity. There's this opportunity, as fucked up as it is, there's opportunity in prisons to really shift, because it's what happened to me.
So what are we learning, people? Bally, how's your first day in this these trainings? You come to 2 classes today.
Good. Similar to, I don't know who said it, somebody else. I do enjoy these kind of sort of conversations and just meeting different people, especially when it's people there's some sort of common ground between all of our sort of journeys, and just listening to everyone and learning from each other. But no, it's been good. I've really enjoyed it today. Thank you.
James, what have you learnt?
Me? Was that
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
It's just the same, really. It's that like we've all got something to give. Doesn't matter what our background is, what we've done, what we've used, anything like that. We've all got a similar kind of story to carry.
And you've got one more class.
Yeah.
I do hope you come back for more than one, though.
Oh, I'll still be on. I work from home on a Thursday anyways.
Great. Great. Katie, did you get what you wanted to out of today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think learning to listen to myself, actually, to listen to what I say to other people. I need to be saying to me, trust myself, trust my instincts, trust I know the right thing to do. And yeah, just to have the space where people hold me. I feel it's okay. It's okay, it's a bit shit. But you can talk about, I have the ability to talk about things that are difficult, and people are not going to go, oh my God, you can't talk about that. It's so freeing, isn't it? So yeah, 100%. Thank you.
Andrew, you've been to a few of these now, yeah?
This is my second of these ones, and I've been to 5 of the morning ones.
Okay.
But yeah, what came to my mind when Valley and James were speaking is how important the environment is in general, and the environment, obviously, in prison can sometimes give you that opportunity to recover, but then you're going to be put out to the environment in the real world that might not, and it's the same in the outside world as well. So you're in an environment might have the foundations to get better, but if you've got people in there that's in your own home that's potentially causing you harm in some way, it's going to stunt your recovery. Yeah, it's quite important to think about the bigger picture, I suppose, when speaking to someone in coaching, just to check they've got the foundations to be able to work from. That's what sort of came to my mind speaking. And James, obviously where you're at now, you must be like such an inspiration to others you help. So yeah, credit to you, mate.
Thank you.
Marcus, how's your Lero coming along?
I think with every hour that I tune into you guys and watching you do, just doing it sort of out loud, it just speaks to that, we have to show to the world what it is we're doing and the outcomes, whether it's good or bad, we've got something to learn. So yeah, I'm building that confidence, which is building my competence. So,
what's the name of your Lero? Rooted, not booted.
so it's the rooted collective, and the idea is to stop people being booted around by the system.
So we stop people being booted around the system.
And so I must add, it's a parallel system. So we have the national system, which we all attack at some point when something goes wrong. It's not about shaming or blaming that system. It's about just getting on with life and building a separate system that works for us, and eventually that may infect the wider system as a whole. And I guess that's what everyone's doing here. These are all alternatives to services that have failed in the past 20 years. So yeah.
So you're a founder of a Lero.
Apparently so.
Good for you. Welcome.
What's a Lero?
A lived experience recovery organization.
Oh, okay.
They love their fucking acronyms here. They got Leros and Cleros and that's it. ABCs, Ds, and asset-based community and rocks. What's it? Recovery orientated systems of care and chime and it's actually very confusing for people who just say, listen, I just need some fucking help. What needs that? Oh, I got to check your ACE score. Fucking just help me. Emma, what did you learn today other than what a Lero is?
Oh, I mean, the discussion around the prisons, I don't know much about that. So that was all learning for me. Yeah, interesting.
Great.
Yeah.
Jade, what have you, Annette? Are you?
I think I'm a bit like Katie. I sort of need to sit back and listen to myself sometimes. I've got compassion for everyone else going through absolutely everything, but when it comes to me, I'm sort of lacking in my own compassion. So yeah, I'm gonna take from today that I need to go away and do a little bit more work on myself.
Okay. Is Jade with you?
She's had to take a telephone call.
Oh, so she's not committed, huh? Right, we'll have to hold her accountable. That's what we'll do next week. I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay. All right, well, let's start to wrap this up. Asada, thank you so much for coming and just bringing your wisdom to this. I've really enjoyed this week actually, putting together the new online platform, bringing things together. It feels quite things feel quite possible, for want of a better word. Yeah, it's and Marcus, it's been lovely meeting you and to watch you as a founder now. So what was an idea on Tuesday is now a reality, and you've now got the burden of leadership. So which area are you in?
Sorry.
Okay. Any Leros in Surrey here?
No, but Kent's not too far away, is it? Well,
No.
I'll get you to one of our online things. You can come and say hello and see what we do and go from there.
Yeah, please do.
Already lined Charlie up to come to one of our Tuesday morning things, so I'm going to get you all.
Good. Good. All right. Andrew and Bally, thank you so much for the work you're doing in the gambling harm recovery space. And yeah. So if it's all right, can we start the checkout? Who wants to start the checkout?
I'll start.
Go on then, James.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this session this afternoon. Yeah, and everyone's stories, and yeah, I'm checking out really well. I'm checking out about 8 or 9 a day. I feel really good.
Great.
I'll tag Buddy.
Cool. Cheers, James. Checking out quite what's the word I'm looking for? Just in thought, really, just reflecting a lot on sort of this morning session and this afternoon session. Loads of good stuff that I haven't heard of before. Just really good to hear different people's perspectives and life experiences, but feeling feeling grateful for, I suppose, where I am in my life right now and what the future holds as well. So yeah, so overall feeling good. And I'll check out to Rasada.
Thanks, Billy. Yeah, I check out like a very warm heart. James, your story really touched me deeply. All of you, I'm very grateful and happy I can come. Thank you, David, for keeping us all inspired. I'll tag Katie.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm checking out. I'm still in that little bit of overexcited mode, so I'm probably going to do a load of other stuff now. Incredibly grateful for this space. It's been a week, and I've got next week off, which is kind of unheard of. So I'm actually having a week of not doing anything. So this is kind of a nice way to wrap up, because I have started to feel a little bit of compassion fatigue. I have. And like you said, David, that whole fucking people talking about steak. I don't give a rat's ass about your steak. Have a real conversation. And I don't want to be that person. So, I'm going to have that nice week off, stay away from it all. And this has just been the nice end to the week, mostly. So thank you. Thank you, David, for having this space as always. I will tag Annette.
I'm checking out grateful and inspired. Grateful to be a part of something like this. And inspired by everyone's stories on how we're all on different levels. We all go through different things, but we're all there for the one reason, to help other people. Yeah, so checking out really good today. And I shall tag, I'm sorry, I can hardly say, who've add Emma.
Thanks. I am checking out Grateful. It's really nice to be back in the container. Thanks for having me, David, and really nice to meet all of you. I hope to see you again, I guess, next week. And who hasn't been?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yeah, I've had a really good week in general, getting stuff done, and I've enjoyed both sessions today. Feel like I've accomplished a lot this week, and yeah, grateful and inspired, like everyone else has said. Also, didn't really have time to have lunch early, so I'm hungry, so I might go and cook myself a steak. How about that, Katie? Pass that to you, David.
Jade, do you want to check out?
Okay.
I've just been told I'm not dedicated. It was an important phone call. It's fine. There was a person in crisis. We're good. But I'm good. Yeah, checked out really well. Sorry, I had to leave momentarily there. Always find these things beneficial though. So really grateful for everyone's insight. So happy days. Thanks everybody.
Cool. And everyone happy with the recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. All right, everyone. Lots of love. See you all next week.
Thank you.
Have a great
If
weekend,
not,
everyone.
see you.
everyone.
Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing.